Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the Kevysie podcast. You guys know me. I'm your host, Kevin Davis, author, entrepreneur, comic creator, and so many different hats. But welcome back to a new episode with my friend Shaun Barbour. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. How's it going?
I'm living. Tired, but I'm living, brother.
Hey, the world's crazy, man. That's why I am the chaos coordinator.
I understand that completely, man. Well, welcome to the show, man. It's our first time actually talking face to face, officially.
Yeah.
Man, so tell us a bit about yourself, man. And I know a bit about you, but tell the people that's going to be watching this about you, man.
Sure. I guess first and foremost, one of the reasons people are here, I create comic books. Started out as an inker, then I moved on to doing creative editing, and then, of course, writing my own books and publishing my own titles, and then actually now I have a couple of novels, horror novels that I've written now too as well. So I'm always staying busy because I am a father who grew up without much, and I wanted to be able to leave something behind for my kids. And so comics and books are part of what I love and a piece of who I am. So I figured that's a good way to leave a legacy behind, you know?
That's freaking amazing, man. And I've been following you for about, 2 years now, I think?
It's been a hot minute, yeah.
My time has flown, and I've seen the progression you have been going through, man. When I first met you to where you are now, it's freaking inspiring and freaking amazing to see how far you've come so far. And I'm really curious, what did your love of storytelling first begin?
I know, I don't know, I always enjoyed being, the creative writing and stuff growing up, and comic books in general, and it just felt like a good medium to kind of get into. But playing D&D, playing with my kids, loving video games and movies. I used to manage a Blockbuster, so creative art in its different forms has always been kind of around me for a long time, and it was only a matter of time, I think. In fact, in my high school yearbook, my senior yearbook, when they give you the shout outs on the way out, I went to a small school and they were writing where they thought everybody would be doing as an adult, and mine was as a comic book creator. So it was the art kid at school. So
that was manifested for you before you even knew.
Right. Which I wasn't mad at. So
crazy thing is, I did not grow up reading comics at all.
No?
I did not know there was a medium until 2020. Crazy, right?
Wow, you're super new.
Yeah, man. I knew Marvel and DC from their animations and the movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
I grew up on the X-Men animation, the Spider-Man animation, the Tobey Maguire, the Blade, and the Green Lantern, the movies and stuff.
Right.
And when COVID hit, I wanted to not have so much media in my mind, and so I want to I guess surf the web or something where I can get myself into, you know what I mean? And so for some reason I got on TikTok because it was big during that time, and I was like, okay, I'll see what the crap this TikTok thing is. Next thing I know, Marvel's on there. I was expecting a movie trailer or a TV show going out because that's what I've known.
No,
Next
yeah.
thing I know, they was talking about comic books. I was like, comic books? What the crap is this?
Right?
And I was like, what the? I'm like, how deep of a hole have I been my entire life that I did not know this was a freaking medium?
It didn't even really.
Movies and stuff.
I was gonna say it doesn't really occur to me to think that there's people that don't know comic books really as something they can actually get into.
When I tell you, I was dumbfounded. I felt embarrassed because I did not know. I'm like, I need my nerd card to be removed because I have not been fully a nerd yet.
That's funny.
So I literally went to Marvel and DC's website to check out their stuff because it's my first time being on their website.
Sure.
And I've seen these thousands of freaking books that I never knew about. And I was like, what in the hell have I been?
And that's just the mainstream stuff too. That's not even opening the door.
Yes. And so of course I went to my Spider-Man first because that's how I was introduced to Marvel. Let's do Spider-Man and Blade. And so I went to my favorite characters like Thor, like Captain America, Black Panther, and of course Spider-Man is also my favorite character. I'm not gonna leave him out. I'm into the Wonder Woman. I'm into like Static Shock. I'm into
Yeah.
Batman, of course, because Batman and Superman, of course. He's the top three: Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and all these other different characters. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, there's so much lore I need to free to explore, and I'm still
For
have
sure.
not caught up on all of them. It's only been 5, 6 years, and I still haven't caught up on everything yet.
Man, I'll tell you. I okay, so when I was growing up and reading comic books and stuff, I started out obviously with like Marvel and DC and stuff, but I found myself quickly turning to Image and like Dark Horse comics and stuff like that.
That's when I found out about them with Hellboy, with Dark Horse and everything.
Yeah.
On Hellboy, I freaking love Hellboy.
But like I don't know what it was, but like there was these independent comic books, these smaller things. Like I always wanted to be the one that enjoyed my own thing. I never wanted to like follow what everybody else was doing. So I made it kind of like my mission to find these off-brand titles. I was reading titles like there's a comic book called Mighty Mites out there, which is like a parody of all these main comic book things. And then I really found myself engrossed in like Spawn before it really took off, and
I love Spawn.
Evil Ernie, and like my favorite characters were like the Lobos and the Ghost Riders and the Blades, the anti-heroes, those darker things.
This is my reference, guys. This is my reference.
That's right. And then I went down even further and I got into like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac and stuff like that. So it and Faust. This right here is one of my foundational books, and I got to meet the creator of Faust, and he actually sat down at a table. He was interested in the premise of my comic book, and he asked me to sit at his table. And he read through the book and broke it down and told me what I was doing good, what it could have used more of, and he actually sounded like he was like excited. And Tim Vigil is, if you're familiar with who that is, man, he's old school like indie, never like he's just been doing his own thing for years and years and years, and that was kind of a moment for me, which is pretty rad. Yeah.
Speaking of inspiring, I got into comic books, like writing myself, from reading independent comic books.
Nice.
Because, it was like around 2022 when I started like falling in love with comics, when I found out more about the independent, like the IDW, like you said, the Image, the Dark Horse, the Game Studios, and so many other companies I never knew freaking existed. And I tell you, I have a whole shelf of independent comic books. I'm like, it's in my room right now, across from me. Like I have to get a whole new shelf at this point because I'm buying some more.
I know, you can see, like I have shelves, like all the ones over here. These ones are all indie books, and then I have these ones which are like some of the mainstream titles, and then all of my novels and reference material is straight behind me. So I'm like, just to find something, you know, if I want to look up like a creature or something, or I got my Dungeons and Dragons here, and then I got an encyclopedia of demons and demonology and stuff behind me here for some of my other books. So it's a lot, you know what I mean? Just trying to find those specific interests, and the fact that you can, if you look, you can reach out nowadays with social media, and you can find people with those similar interests and find that niche that you actually really vibe with. So like for me, like horror comic books are my bread and butter. Like that's where my interest lies. So the psychological stuff, the creature features, that kind of thing. And so I've always thought it was neat just to find whole page communities just of people that are interested in TikTok posts and stuff that people are doing, and just to be able to be like, oh, this is the real thing. Like I could actually do what I like, and there's people out there. There's no catering involved. You just do what you like.
Exactly. That's literally how I am, because legit majority of my stories I write are in the horror or fantasy era. And like, because when I got into comics, I realized horror and fantasy is like my strong suit of writing, because one, I gravitate towards that darkness, and like I can do a lot of different aspects of horror, if that makes sense. Like I can just twist it up however I want. Growing up, I watched horror movies. My mother tried to keep me away from them because I snuck around, still watched them.
That's right.
I grew up on the Halloween. I grew up on the Thing, Freddy, Jason, Candyman, Swamp Thing. I saw the show as something. I think that was animation, or he appeared in animation. I saw. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
There is the animated ones out there. There's a live action TV series too that is really
Yeah,
good.
that's the. I remember the 2019 live action show. I loved it, and I was like, dude, this is my jam. And I'm a big like Godzilla fan, Kong, like those type of
There
creatures
you go.
and stuff. I was like, okay, I think I'm finding out what my purpose is, like, like what I like. And so of course I'm trying to like challenge my writing, to, like do some comedy, like some drama, to, because I don't want to be like a one footnote writer, like one footnote creative. I want to explore. I want to expand my mind to see what I can do with something.
Yeah.
Because I'm also a big fan of like Adam Sandler. I'm a big fan of The Rock. I'm a big fan of basically, Tyler Sheridan of Yellowstone, the guy who created Yellowstone and Lioness. Like I want to explore to get like where I can do in that area too. And so I started studying comics, like how to write them in like 2022. No, actually 2021. I started studying, researching, asking questions. How do you write these freaking things, and how you get the art form and everything. So I just spent like 2.5 years studying the craft of comics, and then I found out that Sonic has comic books. I'm a huge Sonic fan. I was like,
Yeah.
where the crap have I been?
Dude,
And
all
then,
of it,
the
like,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have comic books. I was like,
yeah.
dude, oh my god, I have been that deep in a hole. Like, are you kidding me?
Dude, even if you were
And
just like a regular Saturday morning cartoon fan, like Looney Tunes has their own,
yes, I was. I
like
was.
Casper and all that stuff, and you know what I mean? Like
Oh
that's
my
all
god, dude. Yeah.
craziness.
And with your creative process, can you like walk us through how you start your story and get to the finish line? How do you like come up with the idea that you want to do? I know that's the one you want to do.
Um, I think like for me, I find I'll be sitting and I'll be working on just whatever. Maybe I'm inking somebody else's comic book. Maybe I'm at my actual day job and something will happen and I'll find myself getting distracted. And so I'll either have to pick up my phone, send myself a text, write myself a sticky note or something. Like there's a like even just a one sentence that I'm like, what if this happened or what if that? And then I kind of spiral out and then the spider web of ideas and I throw kind of everything out and see where it kind of goes. If it has any feet and maintains my attention,
Like a real
I figure it's
outline?
gonna keep somebody's.
Like a real
But
outline?
yeah. So like, and then I write down like the draft of it, and generally I've always leaned towards writing more of a prose type of a book. And so I found a lot of my stuff, I'll write like a full chapter or something of just an idea. If the idea kind of plants a seed and I see where it's going on, then I try to feel out, is this something that I really want to keep going with and make it bigger, or is it something I can parse out and turn into another story? So like when I did Belial, I had the concept of the idea of what was there. I integrated a lot of personal trauma into that book, so it was a form of therapy for me. But with I Drive for Cerber, I was following my son's interest in creepypasta, and I found I Drive for Cerber on one of the Reddit pages, and I actually reached out and did some research, found the actual person who created the I Drive for Cerber story on Reddit, and reached out. And it turns out they only live about an hour away from me. And after
What?
yeah,
Holy
so after
smokes.
touching bases with them and saying, "Here's what I do. Take a look. What do you think? Is this something that we could work with?" And they actually gave me full rights to go ahead and do the comic books. And but they had some caveats to that, which was they wanted it kind of real, but and not too cartoony, but not totally real. So I was like, "Hold the phone. I got you covered." In fact, in Sacramento, you live in Sacramento, happens to be, I know Kyron Silva, Torres Comics. His pencils are going to fit perfectly. And so I showed them some of Kyron's work with Saul the Lightning Wielder and Shaman's Destiny and stuff like that. And they were like, that's that's what you have it. And they just gave me the reins to be able to go ahead and turn the stories into the comic books and just kind of run with it. And it's been kind of a blessing in disguise with that because it's allowed me to go to horror conventions and it gets me that ability to play in a field that is wide open with urban legends, creepypasta characters, demons, gods, angels, devils, like all the things. And just think of these one-off little spin scenarios, like a Scooby-Doo episode, where you can start almost every episode almost completely over, or have like this anthology delivery style and have an overarching story, but break down little segmented little additional things to it. It makes it kind of fun. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I always love characters that have attitude and snark and sarcasm. So no matter what you do, you find one of my books, it's going to have some sort of humor in it, at least for my existing titles. I got a new one that's on the back burner that I'm working towards, but that's way serious. And
Get to the server Kickstarter. I'm
sure.
curious, when you begin your stories, a lot, I know like as writers, everyone has a different thing. Like some people start with the characters, then the plot, and then the like outlining the draft or like the storyline.
For me, I'm very visual, and so one of the things I'll find myself doing is if I have a story I've got kind of spinning in the back of my head, those characteristics start kind of presenting themselves, and I start being able to see kind of the direction I kind of want to go. And so then I'll start drawing like concept art, what, like I said, whether it's on a sticky note or something like that. And then I'll bring it home, I'll put it on a piece of paper, or now I got a drawing tablet, so I can sit there on a tablet and just go to town. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh my god, yes, yes. Oh.
it saves so much time, so much energy, and ink and paper. So now it's just easy to put ideas down. And if I like the concept of a character, but maybe feel they don't fit, I can save it in a file, put it somewhere else until maybe, their story needs to be told. And that's happened a couple of times. So like one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse from my Belial series actually was a character from one of the first comic books I did called Into the Darkness. And I took the concept of that character, the design elements of that character, and brought them over into the Belial universe just because I liked the way that they looked, I liked how they felt, and it just fit. And so once something like that clicks, then the story starts more or less telling itself, and I'm just kind of hanging on for the ideas. And sometimes they make sense, and sometimes they don't. But it's all a process, man. And my kid, my oldest kid, who's my road dog for like conventions and stories and stuff, and now he's an arc reader for me, an editor. He's turning 21 this year, and so it's been a pretty big thing for him to grow with me in the creative elements of life. And it's always fun to be able to spitball ideas on him. And he tells me, because he's my son, Dad, that idea sucks. Like you can't do that. That's not popular anymore. You're not that doesn't even exist anymore. You're past your prime. We need to go with this angle. And I'm like, okay. So, but yeah, it's a nice relationship with that creatively, to have somebody that's not gonna quote unquote just blow smoke up your ass to get you to, do something. Yeah.
Let's bring this Kickstarter work. So, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
I driver for Cerber. I drive for Cerber. It's like Uber for the paranormal. I like that. I like that tagline. Actually.
Yeah.
So can you break this story down? What we're getting to this for this universe?
Yeah, sure. I know in the original, like the first couple of issues, you meet Jim, who's the driver for Cerber, and he is an out-of-work construction worker who's been looking to get a new job. He applies for an Uber, he gets turned down. So he is just in the bathroom of all places, and he's sitting there looking through his phone, and he sees a rideshare opportunity pop up. He decides to apply, and like right on the spot, he gets a call back. He finds himself getting hired, and before he knows it, he's going out for his first transport gig, and he finds that he's actually transporting paranormal entities. And so as you go through the story, now he's transporting his paranormal passengers to their destinations, or he's gonna die trying. So he's kind of like the everyman, you or I, trying to get by, trying to make money, finds out that Cerber pays really, really well, but it is scalable on the danger of his passengers. So the more potential danger they are to him, the more he's going to make. And one of his first rides is with a character everybody gets to know as Ray. But if you pay attention a little bit closer, you may see that he resembles, or is, cannot confirm nor deny, that it's Slenderman. And so bringing those elements into the stories is fun. So you get to deal in the first baddie of the story is a Wendigo. But as you go, each issue kind of has like a subline to it. The current one being the goat and a cold shoulder. And that's just because the main entities that he meets and deals with in this book are the Goat Man and Yuki Onna, which is from Japanese folklore. It's kind of like an ice witch. So those you kind of get into that. It's a new issues 1 and 2 are a contained storyline, and now this is the breakaway into a brand new storyline. Just because with indie comics, I think a lot of people try to make like they have this 30 issue goal, and I'm like, look, I'm interested in telling stories and keeping things going and keeping it tight. And once something drops off, or if I know my own brain, if I get too interested in doing other stuff, I'm going to do other stuff too. But I have an interest in Cerber, and so I wanted to keep it going. And after the success of the first 2 issues, I really felt it deserved to now expand the Cerber universe, so to speak, and get people to know a little bit more behind the scenes of what's going on with Cerber and its passengers.
That's funny that you actually mentioned the statement about the indie comic creators with like 30 issues in their head. And that's kind of how I started out at first. Because with my main series, Arcfire, I was thinking like 20 issues in my head I want to do, but now I'm actually 4 years as a made in the industry now. I've got to a point where I was like, okay, maybe I need to break that down a little bit more, and because do it like in more contains arc.
Yep.
Like I was thinking like printing wise, I'm like it might be better in financial wise if I put like one arc.
Yeah.
Like floppies all the time, and so now I'm 2 issues in the first arc. I'm about to get issue 3, but the next time I release Arcfire, it'll be all three issues together in one book, as that first arc is done.
Yeah, that's
So I'm transitioning from floppies to more of a paperback, perfect bound book to give a more contained story arc. But let you know, this is a one arc by itself. It will have a satisfying ending for that particular arc, but there is more coming. But just for this arc, it will have questions answered for particular parts of the story for this arc. And so I was like, as I learn a lot more every single day, I'm like, I need to get smarter and not overwork myself and not spend too much. You know what I mean?
That's a big one. The money, man. Comics is expensive, and I didn't know that when I first came into the realm.
Oh my god, yes. And like especially the printing keep going up and stuff. I was like, okay, I need to contain this a bit more.
Yeah.
Spread, I might not draw out too much, but draw up a little bit, but also make sure I get the questions answered for this particular arc. Because at first I was thinking like the first arc like 6 issues, but when I went back and read the first issue first and the second issue again, actually I can actually end this first arc in like 3 issues. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I can actually contain this in 3 issues. So I'm editing the 3rd issue to make it to close off the arc, and then the parts that I had as a 6th issue, I can take those parts and make them something else for the next trilogy.
The next volume. I've been making comic books for probably close to 9 years now. And so, like, one of the things that I realized as I was going, like I said, keeping costs contained as an actual creator. You want to make money, you make other people's books. You want to spend money, make your own book. And so, like, for a while, I was I was able to get my books pre-funded through doing artwork and stuff for other people, which was cool. But then kind of like life got in the way. I went through a child custody battle and had to take a step away for about a year. Yeah, so this is kind of my refuel and trying to get back on the road. And I didn't stop. Like I said, I was writing my novels and stuff while I couldn't make comics, but this is my opportunity. I've got this comic book. It's current art that's going on right now, and then I have my Belial comic book, which ultimately I wanted to be 4 issues. And if when I fund this book, then I'll be able to turn around and get the fourth issue of Belial done, and that is the closing arc for that entire series, and
Let's
it's a
go.
double length issue. So
Heck yes, man.
yeah,
That's
but
freaking
I've
amazing.
got it totally scripted. I got the artist back on track to help out. He actually loved the script, so that I'm chomping at the bit to do the next thing.
Let me just put this out right quick. Those that's watching this episode, make sure you go back iDrive for server. It's almost funded. 29 days to go, guys. It's like you're almost halfway there. Let's get this sucker funded. It's in the show notes description of this video while you're watching. So make sure you back Shaun's Kickstarter. But
And
continue.
for anybody that's new for this Kickstarter, iDrive for a server, if you get the catch up tier, there I decided to have an opportunity for 1 out of 10 people to have one or even all 3 issues of their iDrive for a server upgraded for free to the variant covers. And
Whoa, that's a freaking good deal. You
so
heard the man,
and
guys. Make sure you back this book.
yeah, so even as an example for issue 2, there's even like a hollow foil, like a standard hollow foil
That
cover,
is gorgeous.
which is cool. And then I've got a glitter foil cover, and so these are up there as part of that, as well as the standard non-foil versions. Depending on how this goes down or how successful it is, I do have a glow-in-the-dark metal variant that is available, which is kind of rad. I did a glow-in-the-dark cover for issue number 1, and that thing is dope. So I was excited.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of good people involved. You know, if you know Danny J. Quick from Ace Blade Comics, he's doing the lettering. I've got Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics on the pencils. I did all the inks myself, and Michael Woods, if you know the Deathgasm comic books, he's doing the colors. I had a trial,
You have
and
a badass team. Hell
it really is, and honestly, I couldn't be more stoked. In fact, I'm actually thinking about having issues 1 and 2 remastered, relettered by Danny, just to create some uniformity and correct some of my early game errors that I had. So that it's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully everybody gives like the first 5 pages a read there on the campaign. See if it vibes with them, see if they like where it's going, get you introduced to even just a simple passenger interaction. There's a zombie in there with his guts all spilled out with the goat man messing with him. You get
yeah.
Jim, you get his dark sense of humor, you know. So it's a lot of fun. And if you really want to take it and you can look at the zombie, he's dressed like Fred from Scooby Doo. So we like to throw in some
Fred Jones. Oh my lord.
yeah. So we throw in a lot of Easter eggs in. Issue 1 of iDrive for Server, one of the houses is like the Simpsons house. Issue number 2, there's a wall of wigs, and we've got like a Peg Bundy wig in there. We've got a Lisa Simpson's wig. All kinds of, it's just fun little extras I like to throw in for people that like to look a little bit deeper into what's going on, you know?
So at the zombie and like the dark humor.
See, you can check him out. I know he's in the headlights and you can kind of see it, but he's got his little, you know, his bolo tie and everything.
Oh my god. Guys, you better back this freaking book. This is freaking beautiful.
It's a lot of fun. And if people want to find out if it's for them, there is a full audio of issue 1 that's up on Spotify. That's done as a full audio drama with sound effects, voices, all that stuff. If even you just want to dip your toes in the water. But we have some awesome rewards. I've got the Cerber license plate stickers there. We've got a driver card for anybody that goes in on that tier. You can see right there. Kind of brings you into the world a little bit. You can carry it with you as a Cerber driver. I've got Jim's First Fair shirt. There's digital comic books that are available. Like I said, the glow in the dark. We've got a hollow foil mini print that's going to be available. I've got all kinds of stickers and all kinds of stuff. And as always, for people that back it, depending on how successful it is the more freebies I'm going to throw in there. And I've got some stretch goals kind of planned for people as we move along, which I plan on announcing the first one once we get halfway funded. So that should be a lot of fun to kind of throw in there as well.
I should get all the catch up bundle right here.
Yeah.
From the beginning.
So yeah, for $25, man, that's almost what, two people at Taco Bell nowadays, which used to be the cheapest food.
I Taco Bell in like 6 years. So.
Bruh. But yeah, so as you can see there, that iDrive for Server, that $14 one, the variant cover, that's actually the one that is the cover for the glow in the dark. Design the cover with the intention that you want to have for the campaigns and what you want to do to get people's attention. And so I went with the glow in the dark look as a standard, but when it gets printed, it's going to have the actual glow in the dark elements to it as well if you get that version. Yeah. So
That's very.
hey, I appreciate you, man.
Got the metal for $50. The lights out glow in dark metal variant. Holy smokes!
And that is a piece of actual like sheet metal for the cover. It's not like a flimsy thing. It is, you can knock on it, man. It's a presentation piece for sure.
It's freaking beautiful.
And the thing is with those two,
passenger priority.
yeah, there's all kinds of Cerber ad stickers. You get the driver, the mini print, all 3 issues, digital and physical. With that, I was actually thinking about throwing in, I've got some air fresheners and stuff from iDrive for Cerber air fresheners. I don't have that on there, but
too. Oh my
yeah.
God. Oh wow, that's the first for me. I have never heard anybody have air fresheners on.
And everything ties back into the story. Like I said, the driver's card, I designed each one of those stickers to look like Uber campaign commercial like ads. The air freshener is what Jim would have wished he had in issue number 1 when one of his passengers bored, leaves a big old stinky mess in the back of his car. So we got that new car smell on the air freshener.
Yeah, oh God.
Yeah, and then we've got the actual physical artwork that is available. I've got some limited pages that are going to be available for that for people that are interested. And then even one more than that is I've got 5 spots total available. 2 people have already scooped it up to be drawn in to the iDrive for Cerber comic book, this issue number 3. So even though it looks like the page is done, we're going to tweak it up a little bit and get people that want to be drawn into the book so you can actually be part of the iDrive for Cerber universe. Show your friends, show your family, become what you love.
Yeah, here it is right here, guys. That one-way ticket, you get drawn in for $125, guys. This is beautiful.
Yep. So, like I said, I just like to have a lot of fun. That's Mofucius, the original writer. They wanted to not be seen. They wanted to be anonymous as to who they are. So I put together that little image and thrown it on the campaign, and then you get to read a little bit about each one of the contributing artists and talent for the books.
How did you come up with your studio name as Instinct Comics?
Like I said, when it came to comic books, I started out as an inker, and I'm not formally trained, so I figured that I was going by my instincts when it came to inking comic book pages. And so I was just like, a clever play on that would be Instinct Comics. I have a lot of fun saying it, even though some people kind of trip up. They're Insta-inked, and I'm like, well, it's instinct, or like, you misspelled it. I was like, it's misspelled with intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Like, just creativity, just being known. And I never heard anybody had that name really, and the spelling, and it stuck for a gamer tag when I'm playing games with friends and stuff. And I was like, if I'm playing video games and it comes up that I'm a comic book creator, I can be like, just check the gamer tag, go to Instagram, go to Facebook. You'll find me.
You said he did the pencils.
Yep, absolutely. And he's
one of the most talented artists I've ever met.
Dude, he's been at it a long time. He's such an inspiration too. Like, he's been supportive all the way through. In fact, the pencils for this issue, he didn't tell me. I had thrown him the script, and next thing I knew, he's like, by the way, your book's already drawn. He did it before I could even pay him, before anything, and before I even had the campaign. He was like, I love it. He's all, there you go. And so all this campaign is, working on paying everybody back for the work that they did. And Michael Woods and Danny are paid already. The book is completely finished, and I did do the responsible thing, right? That's responsible, putting it on credit cards with interest ahead of time before you know it'll fund, right? So that's there. But
It's definitely one of those that's on my list. I would love to work with him.
yeah,
I know he's busy right now.
he's doing Ballad of Black Rose. He's got Shaman's Destiny going. He's got a next issue of Saw the Lightning Wielder, I think, in the works already. I gave him the script for issue number 4 of Cerber already, so who knows what he's doing on that front.
That's probably gonna be done by the time this video's up.
For real, for real. But he stays at it though. He'll draw every single day, and really, I've never had to ask for edits from him on any pages. He's just fantastic. His eye for storytelling is spot on, and he'll let you know though if he's like, can we draw outside of the car for Cerber for a little bit? Go so. But I know that myself and Danny like to give him a hard time. He had to draw a lot of horses. He's had to draw. In fact, for I Drive for Cerber, we have our Kelpie, which is it's a Irish folklore. But you'll be able to. It was funny because right before he did Ballad of the Black Rose, he was doing I Drive for Cerber, and one of the creatures has a horse head, and so he had to turn around and start drawing actual horses. So it was kind of a cool little turnaround. And he's like, "Man, can I do something without a horse?" But I think the creatures and the characters in this comic book, they actually allow him to have a lot of creative freedom, and he gets to look forward to drawing new entities each time. Nothing's ever going to be exactly the same,
Instinct Comics, you can get some of your other books on this campaign too, if people like.
Absolutely. There's a bunch of add-ons. There's both of my horror novels that are available. Those are on there. You've got digital versions of my first comic books, Belial physical versions along with variant covers and different things like that. Just trying to make sure this book has every opportunity to shine. And I've got, I haven't been able to go to a convention in the last year, so I have all these copies of stuff that I would have taken with me that gets to benefit the backers of this campaign.
It's freaking beautiful. Like I said to you guys, the Kickstarter is in the link in the description of this video while you're watching. Go back, I Drive for Cerber. It's freaking beautiful. And also go buy the novels too, because these are freaking badass. The treatment, the howling. Go buy Belial, I Drive for Cerber. And dude, this is freaking phenomenal,
man. And if anybody
especially if you're a horror fan, you need to back these books.
Yeah. If you like an underdog, if you like a sense of humor, if you like Supernatural and Scooby-Doo, and you like all that stuff, you're gonna love I Drive for Cerber, man. And if anybody wants to reach out after seeing your podcast here, and they just still don't know, but they're on the fence, you know what? I'm willing to even throw them a free digital copy of issue number 1 just so they can get their feet wet. Just for giving you the time, just for being here, and for actually giving me their attention during your show as well. So I appreciate everybody's time and effort. So I'm here for you guys. Like, just reach out.
Go buy this book, dude. Seriously, I was like, support indie comics, support horror. Because like I said, I'm a big horror fan, and I'm a horror writer myself. We're almost halfway there to get this sucker funded, guys. 29 days left, so plenty of time to get this bad boy going. Man, this is freaking phenomenal. I'm expecting this to be funded by the time this video is up and even afterwards. And so the other thing I like to do on this podcast, after we get through like the work part.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of fun before we hop off.
Sure.
We got some fun rapid fire questions.
Okay.
So first, favorite horror movie?
Favorite horror for me? It's going to be Hellraiser.
That's a good one. I like you. I mean, you keep confirming why we're friends. Okay, favorite comic of all time?
Favorite comic of all time? I like Evil Ernie. Evil Ernie is probably my favorite comic of all time. Yeah.
Superhero.
My hero?
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to have to say Evil Ernie. I was a big fan of Gambit growing up, so Gambit's always gonna have a spot. You know what I mean? That's just old school love for the Marvel right there.
Okay, I'm liking this. Okay, so zombies, vampires, or werewolves?
I think I like I go with vampires, but it always depends on which version of them. So best vampires, of course, is going to be like your daywalkers, your blades. But then if you walk back and you just want to go creep factor, the 30 Days of Night, amazing comic book,
Yes.
great movie. Those are rad. And then if you've ever seen The Strain, if you want to go viral zombie, those are dope as well.
Interesting. Interesting. It's like coffee or energy drinks while creating.
Bro, energy drinks all day. Energy drinks all day. And not just monsters. I like the C4s. I like the Red Bulls. I like the monsters. I like what the NOS. I like your I when if I see a new flavor of something, I'm gonna try it just because.
If you could collaborate with any comic creator, living or deceased, who would it be?
I would really like to do something with Tim Vigil. Maybe like even just a one shot of my Belial book with his help and his artwork would be amazing. I'd love to ink every page. I just recently went to a comic book store and this is one of my favorite series ever. I loved the cartoon when it was out.
Nice.
And it's the omnibus, so I got me a nice thick boy. So this I love physical books, but being a baller on a budget, I got appreciation for those digital comics as well, man. When you want to just read a story and, you know, the community of indie creators, I will say, when it comes to when I have the money, I love backing at a physical level, but I love the ability of being able to back many people at even a $5 digital tier level just to show love and support. I mean, indie comic books, it's almost like we're passing around the same $20. You know what I'm saying? Just to get our hands on everybody else's book, show support for one another. That to me is what it's all about. And I have been introduced to some of the best creators, the best storytellers through running the Indie Comic Conspiracy on Facebook, through meeting people on TikTok, and just really connecting with people. So many people out there that just I've got so much love for, and there's just too many to list. But if anybody comes over to the Indie Comic Conspiracy, it's the Facebook page where it's actually focused on the actual creation process, not just kickstarting, not just crowdfunding where we drop links and share a pitch. It's more or less anybody like yourself that might be new to comic books wants to come in, learn how to script, learn what it takes to actually fund a comic book, get some insight. We'll help you out. We'll button down like your pitch and all that stuff. We want to help others, like yourself, get interested. Like you don't never know which direction you'll be held. And, just a couple years into the game, you're writing stories. You know what I'm saying? You're creating. And that's huge. That's huge. I love digital books too because I do the comic book reviews, and those are so easy just to fire one off. There's no cost to nobody, and I can actually dive in and break it down. I can zoom into the artwork. So if you really love the artwork, you want to take a look at all those little like Easter eggs. It's fun. It's fun.
Halloween candy, perhaps.
Okay, worst Halloween candy of all time are those little pumpkins and candy corn. So no
I can't
love,
stand those. I
no
can't
love for
stand those.
those. But let's see, favorite Halloween candy. I got love for like Snickers and like gummy worms. Like one chocolate, one fruity candy. That's you gotta have one or the other. I mean, I've got a big bag of cotton candy sitting right here. So you just don't know. Look, I ain't even lying. I got pink and I've got blue. So I don't play.
So, but yeah, I go from between sneakers, Reese's, Crunch bars, yeah, pretty much anything chocolate related.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm basically the same way. So looking ahead, what's next for Instinct Comics and even in this Cerber universe?
I drive for Cerber. This issue obviously has the Goat Man and Yuki. The next issue, though, I've got it scripted. We're actually going to have Baphomet in there. So if you're familiar with Baphomet, he's gonna which having a back-to-back goat interaction, you'll see how that ties in. It's fun. Jim freaks out. It's a lot of fun. As far as like for Instinct Comics, I'm actually hired on as an inker for a comic book called Night Wrath right now, which is pretty rad. I mean, I inked part of issue number 2, inking issue 3, and then I'll be inking issue 4. I already have all the pencils for both of those books. So if you come over to TikTok, you can watch me ink them live. I'll post time-lapse videos because in a day and age where AI is a big controversy, I like showing my process. I want to say that book is going to have your Ultimate Hulk and Pit vibes. So a lot of big, bulky, smash like fights. So it's a lot of fun too. So
support Cerber and Instant Comics.
sure, you can go to cerbercomics.com if you want to back the Kickstarter. Made it nice and easy with that. You want to go to my website. It's this thing right here, instinctcomics.com. If you don't want to wait for the campaign, you can get books right now. You can get novels right now. I've got a book box for people that are interested in the horror novels. I always throw extra goodies whenever people order from me. It's available on Amazon as well. But if you want to follow me on TikTok and all that, you can find me at Instinct, in Instinct Comics. So, yeah. And of course, Facebook, that's me. No gatekeeping. That's where you'll find me.
Gotcha. And all the links are in the description of this video, guys. Is there anything you'd like to say directly to aspiring comic creators or writers that's coming up before we wrap up this episode?
Man,
just the advice that you give to them.
Yeah, reach out. Ask other creators for actual help. Don't think that you can do it on your own. And also, one thing might be a hot take. Don't be afraid to give your spoilers. Don't be afraid, because those spoilers might be the thing that get people's attention. By the time you grab their attention and they follow you until the book is complete or whatever you're making is complete, they're going to forget what that was, and they're going to be re-surprised again anyways. So grab them with whatever you can. Grab the attention however you can. Like with Cerber, I told you it's the GOAT, man. I told you it's Yuki Onna. I told you Baphomet is coming. I said that in issue number 1, you've got Slender Man. You've got Borg, which is an ogre who likes to say he's an orc because he's the Lord of the Rings fan. But you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to give those details, man. Get your attention any way you can, because this comics game ain't easy, and reach out for help, because we're all trying to do this together.
Shaun, thank you so much for coming on, man, telling us about your journey. And guys, go to cerbercomics.com, back to Kickstarter, link in the description of this video while you're watching, and just get the sucker funded, because it's freaking beautiful. I'm a sucker for horror. Like, any at the GOAT, man, and I was looking at the pictures, I was like, I need to get this book. I was like, I don't care if I have to get the digital and get the physical later. I need to get these books because I want it.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks so freaking dope. But congratulations on launching, and it's gonna get funded. I'm putting it out into existence. 29 days. That's my prediction. That it's gonna get funded next week, man.
We got a good start, bro.
But if you'd like to follow me, you can find me on Instagram at I am Cam Davis Official. At my website, kevysie.com. This is my logo in my background. You can see it. kevysie.com. Facebook, I am Cam Davis CEO, and also TikTok if you're there.
Hey man, I appreciate you, and I extend the same thing back. You ever want me to just tear apart your comic books or anything, give you a real life breakdown of what a professional breakdown would be, and then whether or not, throw all those rules out the window, I'll let you know what I really think. I'll do that too.
Catch you guys next time on Kevysie Fate.